Yeah. The first one says find the value of A and round your answers to the nearest 10. Show your work. All right. If we have two sides of a triangle, I can always find the third side. How can I do that?
Leg.
No, we're not talking about special right triangles right now. It's simple. We did it on day one.
Oh, find the hypotenuse leg.
The Pythagorean theorem.
The ABC, right?
All right, guys, when you have two sides, you can find the third side with Pythagorean theorem. But what is your hypotenuse? A, 14 or 16?
16.
16. All right, we all agree that 16 is the hypotenuse. So this is C. You can leave A as A, and that can be B. A and B are interchangeable. So my formula that you have on your note card is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This is what you guys were doing on your quiz. You're kind of overworking. You were doing special right triangles instead of just Pythagorean theorem. All right, for A, I'm just going to leave it as A squared. B is 14 squared. And C is 16 squared. A lot of you forget that C is squared. See that a lot. All right, so what's 14 squared?
196.
169 or 196?
196.
And 196.
You said 169?
Did I? Yeah, that would be 13 squared. All right, so 16 squared is what?
I don't know.
Type it in.
256.
All right. How can I solve for x here?
You subtract.
Okay, so subtract 196, subtract 196. So I'm left with A squared is equal to what?
60.
60. All right, on your quiz earlier, you guys were leaving this as it is, as if you had done all the work and that was your answer. This is A squared. I need the square root of A. So what is the square root of A?
49.
What is the square root of 60?
6.
Type it into your calculator.
It's 3.
Huh?
It's a decimal.
Guys, are you listening to me?
It's 7.7 fold.
Leave it as a 10. Your answer is 7.7.
7 fold.
You need to make sure that you take the square root to get your final answer.
Why would we don't write it exactly like it's there? Like we had a 4 back.
That's fine. 7.74.
Oh.
All right, number two.
Huh?
Number 2. That's my hypotenuse, right?
Can you mark it as X?
So we can mark this is A, this is B, this is always C. All right, so my equation is A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. All right, Danny, what do I have for A?
9.
Okay. Chris, what about B?
Huh?
What about B?
Oh, 15.
And then what about C squared?
Can we put X?
No, you can put X. You put whatever you want. All right, so 9 times 2, or sorry, not 9 times 2, 9 squared,
81.
81 plus 225. Guys, in your calculator, I am 100% okay with you guys skipping this step. You don't have to break this down as you just did. If you want to type in 9 squared plus 15 squared, you get 306. Alright, so I was breaking it down step by step, but you don't have to do that. It's all on one side. Type it in. What is the square root of 306? Because this is not my answer. Take square root.
17.5.
Yep, 17.5. And also, take a look at your picture again. Does it make sense to have one side 9, one side 15, the hypotenuse 306? No, those numbers aren't even in the same,
Category.
yeah, not even at all. So don't get confused and don't just stop here. You have to keep going to get your square root. All right, let's look at number 3. You cannot get freaked out just because it is a word problem. A repairman leans the top of a... I'm done.
It's a word problem.
A repairman leans the top of a 15-foot ladder against the top of a stone wall. The base of the ladder is 5 feet from the wall. How tall is the wall? Now, you cannot get freaked out. You cannot have a fit because it's a word problem. Draw a picture. There's my ladder. The repairman leans the 15-foot ladder on top of a stone wall. The base of the ladder is 5 feet from the wall. So guess where the wall is? My picture is a little off.
A. Give me A. B. B. C.
No, it's not, I mean,
How do you do B then?
Alright, so they're saying how tall is the wall? Alright, I have 2 sides.
Give me a B.
Why are you saying cheers right now? Why are you doing this?
It just came up to my head.
Okay, well, let's refocus on geometry. Alright, so x 5 and 15, what's my hypotenuse? 15. Okay. So if this is your hypotenuse. This could be C, right? That could be A, that could be B. So we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I want you guys to do this one. Tell me what you get. You take your answer with my answer. Chris, what did you get for this problem?
14.1.
Sydney, what did you get for this problem? Okay. This is some of the answers that the, sounds like it's just a rounding issue between the 2 answers. So you guys did x squared is equal to 200, right? You did not stop there, you took the square root of both. So you were left with x equals 14 points. I got 14.1. Sydney, if you wrote 14.2, I would not count that wrong. That's just rounding. Alright, I want to show you guys something quickly in Desmos because you guys can't use Desmos on your test.
Wait, when is our test?
You guys know why I lose my mind in here. X class.
So, wait. The 3rd?
Tuesday is the 4th. Because tomorrow's the 1st.
I have to take the test
Oh, you're taking your, during what time?
at 11:50
We gotta have to do something.
a.m.
Okay. So you guys will probably have to test during Stinger. We don't have Stinger till the next week, and I might hear that day. We'll have to figure out when you guys can test. Can you guys ever stay after school? If you need to?
Huh?
Can you stay after school if you need to?
Maybe.
I'd rather you not go too long without taking this test. So if you can take it Monday or Tuesday after school, that'll be good.
Tuesday?
Well- Yeah. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, guys, look for number 3, right? Let's say that we want to use Desmos and type this in.
That's no good.
I'm not going to type in a squared plus b squared plus c squared because Desmos, it recognizes a, b, and c, but it makes it a little different. It makes it like a number. So let's say we have 5 squared. What was my equation? Plus bx, right? So we're going to say, oh wait, plus, it was b squared. We're going to do x squared And it equals to what, 15 squared? All right, so let's say we type that in. We have two answer choices here.
What? I don't know answer choices. Oh, yeah.
I don't want the negative. All right, I don't want to say this side of the triangle is negative 14 degrees or negative 14. That doesn't make sense. But you guys can use Desmos. You still got 14.1, right? So that's the way that you can use Desmos on your test. If you're struggling with the algebra part of it. All right, let's move on. All right, is it possible to form a triangle with a side length? So this is a two-part problem. The first part of this is you are checking to see if this is a triangle. Okay, we've done this since Unit 4. We add the two smaller numbers, see if it's greater than the largest number. What's 12 plus 5?
17.
Is 17 greater than 24?
No.
No. So I don't have to go to step 2 because it's not even going to be a triangle. I can't classify a triangle if the sides don't even make sense. So for number 4, we just write it down. Number 5, let's test it out. 13 plus 15 is clearly bigger than 20. So is this going to be a triangle?
Yes.
Alright, so now we go to the next step. This is where your note cards come in handy. On your note card, we wrote classified triangle, and we wrote down c squared space a squared plus c squared.
What is C?
C is going to be your longest side. Alright, we're going to refer back to our original numbers here. 13, 15, and 20. Which one would be my hypotenuse? Well, let's see. 20. So this is 20 squared. A and B don't matter, right? So we can have 13 squared plus 15 squared. All right, what's 20 squared? $400? Alright, so then let's do 13 squared plus 15 squared. We get 394. So this was 400, this was 394. So the sign I'm going to put there is greater than, because 400 is greater than 394. Would that be a cube, obtuse, or right? That would be obtuse. Alright, here's another major hint for Tuesday. When I give you guys these problems, assume that it is already a triangle. Okay, so then just go right into your classifications. We're going to skip over number 6. You're not going to see one like that on your test, so we're just going to save our time. Alright, number 7. Alright, so we're done with Pythagorean theorem. Okay? We're moving on to the next section.
Is it the back part?
No, that is just not trig yet. This is our special right triangles. I have 2 special right triangles. 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90. Okay?
That
So-
was 45, 45.
The first one is. So you're looking still at the front of your card where we have 30, 60, 90, and 45, 45, 90. In this case, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. In a 45, 45, 90 triangle, we basically have one main formula, and it is that your hypotenuse is equal to root 2 times the length. Okay, that's on your card. My first 2 classes, they're doing great with the formula, but a lot of the kids are forgetting the radical, so that's changing the answers. Don't forget that radical there. Before we get started with solving anything, I can tell what x is. we know in a 45-45 triangle that my legs are congruent, right? So if the first leg is 10 root 2, what's the second leg going to be?
10 root 2.
10 root 2. They're going to be the exact same. It says leg equals leg. So when you have a 45-45 90 triangle, these two legs are the same. So this might as well be 10 root 2. Same thing. Now let's solve our hypotenuse. Alright. What's my variable for the hypotenuse in this problem? Y is equal to root 2 times the leg, which is
10 root 2.
10 root 2. Depending on how new or old your calculator is, you may, after you write your, I'll show you. So we have root 2. You see how it kind of just keeps going? That radical keeps going. You have to slide over. Right? If a parentheses pops up, then just close the parentheses. I don't know which one is going to do. But root 2 times 10 times root 2. And slide over. You should get 20. Did you get 20? Bruce, are you the only child?
Nah. I have 3 others, but I'm the youngest.
That explains it. I knew there had to be something.
I'm the youngest out of the 4.
You were the middle child or the baby?
I'm the baby.
Alright, so your y is going to equal.
Yeah, I asked for it. He gave it to me.
Wait, you're gonna be good, right?
No.
You're not?
It's only my sister. She's the only girl. I have 2 other brothers. And then from my dad's side, I'm the only boy. From my dad's side.
And then number 8. Would this be a 45-45 90 triangle or 30-60?
36.
30-60. I know that because I already have the 60 and the 90. I'm just missing the 30. Alright, Sydney, look at the 11, the x, and the y. What is going to be my short leg? Good. What's my long leg? And so x is your hypotenuse. Good. Alright, so this one we're going to have like at least 2 formulas. Alright, I always start with whatever number they give me. Right? Your angle measures are done. Don't need those anymore. Look at the 11, the x, and the y. I'm going to start with the short leg because it gave me the 11. Look at your note card. What is the formula for short leg?
Hypotenuse equals 2.
I said the short leg, not the hypotenuse.
Short leg equals hypotenuse divided by 2.
Short leg equals hypotenuse divided by 2. Alright, so my short leg, see if you come up with 11. My hypotenuse is x divided by 2.
Do we not like multiply on each side?
Yes. So we can multiply this on each side. Nope, you divide it. In order to get x by itself, I need to undo this operation. So it's x divided by 2, so I'm going to undo it, I'm going to multiply on both sides. So I'm left with x is equal to 2 times 11, which is,
121.
no, 21.
What?
11 times 2,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's 22.
you did 11 times 11, didn't you?
Yes.
Alright, so that's the first one. I don't have much space. You guys probably have more space than me. Next we have the long leg. Let's figure out what the long leg is. That formula is root 3 times the leg. So my long leg is y equals root 3, oh wait, not leg. It is the
Short leg.
short leg. Sorry, I'm doing all these, I get confused. Sorry, let's make that correction. Root 3 times the short leg, and my short leg is 11. So what do you get when you do root 3 times 11? What do you get?
38.1. 38.1.
19.1. What? Chris,
We do the radical times 2.
where do you see a 2 in this whole?
No, 22 because
We're not talking about 22 right now. 22 is your hypotenuse. We're talking about the long leg.
It says, are you?
The long leg and the short leg. Your long leg is wide, your short leg is 11.
Oh.
If you want to use Desmos for this, and Sydney, this may be really good for you, just so you don't like work too hard, you know? When we had that first equation, you can type it in. That first equation was 11 equals x divided by 2, right? X divided by 2. And you can see that x is 22. Okay. I'm pretty sure you can do it for the second equation too. Let's try it. That was the square root of 3. Make sure you scroll over. Times 11. And it gives you 19.1. Okay. Chris, if you type in to Desmos, well, you still have to know what you're typing in, but that could help.
I do it now.
I know. All right, number 9. 30, 60, 90, right? Chris, X, 8, and Y. What's my short leg, my long leg, and my hypotenuse?
8 is short leg. Long leg.
Stop guessing.
Hypotenuse.
Thank you. All right. What's the Y? What are you saying right now? Do you know you're in school right now? All right. Short leg or long leg? Y is the short leg. So X is the long leg. I told you guys I'm not going to confuse you or try to trick you on your test. I will draw it to scale. But you confuse yourself.
What?
I didn't confuse
How is
you.
that possible?
Because how did you think that Y was going to be the hypotenuse? That's the first thing you said. I think you just say words that come to your brain and you're like, oh, it's this. And it doesn't make any sense. All right. So they gave you the hypotenuse first, so I'm going to start with the hypotenuse. What is the equation for hypotenuse?
Hypotenuse. Radical 2 times leg.
See, you're just making up stuff again.
What? I said.
We aren't looking at, you're looking at 45, 45, 90. We're at 30, 60, 90.
Oh my God.
So what do we need then?
Huh?
What you guys said? 2 times the short leg. Alright, your hypotenuse was 8 equals 2 times the short leg is Y. Alright, how do I solve for Y?
Divide.
Divide by 2.
I mean, 2.
So Y equals,
You gotta divide.
because guys, look, your hypotenuse is twice the short leg. So my hypotenuse was 8, my 2 just came down, my short leg was Y. To get Y by itself, I divided by 2. So Y is 4.
4.
Alright, look at the bottom. I already know that my short leg is 4. Let's solve for the long leg. My long leg is X equals root 3 times the short leg, which we got was 4. Put this in your calculator, Chris. You gotta give me the right answer. 4 times root 3.
6.1. 7.1.
I got 6.9.
What? Oh, I thought you got around me.
Yeah. Run into the nearest 10.
6.9.
All right, we have one more of special right triangles and we're moving on to trig after lunch. Number 10. There are no numbers here, but I can tell which special right triangle it's going to be. Would it be 45, 45 or 30, 60?
Both.
It can be both. Diana, what'd you say? Diana said it is 45, 45 because I have 2 hash marks here. So that tells me that my bottom angles have to be congruent. We learned about that isosceles triangle. That's what that is.
Isolation.
All right, so I have a leg, a hypotenuse. Let's use my one formula that we use for 45, 45.
Hypotenuse equals radical 2 times 8.
Good. My hypotenuse is 6. My leg, let's choose one, X or Y.
Why?
It doesn't matter because my legs are going to be equal, right? Just pick a variable. All right, Chris, how do I get Y by itself?
Divide
By?
3, 2,
No. Divide by root 2.
root 2.
That is a major difference. So in your calculators, do 6 divided by root 2, not regular 2.
4.24.
4.24, so I believe it's 4.2.
When it has a numero 5, you change the first one. You did?
Any questions here? All right, finish copying this down, and then you guys may go to lunch. When you get back, we're going to do the trig and the problem. All right, so find the sine, cosine, and tangent for angle A. So find the sine, cosine, and tangent for angle A as reduced fraction. So which angle is in question here? What am I focusing on?
Wait, what did you
Talk about angles, guys. Which angle we focus on? A. So circle it. When it comes to trig, you need to circle your angle that you're working with.
What happened to start with B?
It says nothing about B. All your answers will be wrong. We're focusing on angle A. So based on angle A, I need the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So look at your sides. 15, 16, and 24. What gets what? What does 15 get?
C.
Guys, you're not listening. You're not even focused right now. I just said it. I said opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse. What do your sides get? According to angle A, is 15 going to be opposite or adjacent?
Opposite.
It is adjacent. It is side by side. It is touching this angle. What about 16? That is opposite. 24 is always the hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. So look at the sine, cosine, and tangent. Your sine, you look at SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. What is your opposite here? 16 over 24. That is not your answer because it is not reduced. So type in your calculator, 16 divided by 24, math, enter, enter.
Two over 3. What's up, Mom?
2 over 3. All right, cosine. For cosine, I need adjacent over hypotenuse. What is my adjacent number? Your adjacent side.
15.
15 over 24. Math, enter, enter. Let's reduce that fraction.
hypotenuse. Hey, try
5 over 16. Alright, let's look at tangent. For tangent, I need opposite over adjacent. Guys, I don't have to stand up here. You guys can do this on your own if you're not gonna pay attention. What is opposite over adjacent?
16 over 15.
16 over 15 is not reduced, so I leave it as 16 over 15. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the page.
That's pretty easy.
Alright, look at number 12. Find the value of the missing variables. Round your answer to the nearest 10. Alright, I always start with my angle. Which angle do I use here? I have two angles, 90 degrees and X. Which one do I want to use? X. We're going to use the 90. So circle it. Based on this angle, let's look at my sides. 18 and 30. I need to label opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. What is 18 going to be?
Opposite.
It is opposite. What about 30?
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. What?
That's like the long thing.
Alright, so which trig function is for opposite and hypotenuse? OH. Sine. And we need sine of our angle, which is x, is equal to 18 over 30.
Will we reduce it?
No. So, this is what we just learned. When I'm looking for my angle, I basically pull this angle down, and my trig function goes to the other side, but solving for the angle. When it goes to the other side, it becomes the opposite, which we call the inverse. So it's sine to the power of -1. And then I leave whatever was already on that side of the equal side. 18 divided by 30.
And that's the answer.
Nope. Alright, grab your calculators. Alright, to find my angle, I'm going to hit second sine, so the inverse can come up. And then 18 divided by
Where's that?
30. Alright, for angles, we are going to round it to the nearest whole number. So 36.8 will become 37 degrees. Alright, let's get to number 16 for a second, because that was very similar. Here's my angle. I need to label 10 and 17. Does 10 get opposite or adjacent? Adjacent, that side is touching that angle. And 17 is going to be hypotenuse. Which trig function do we use for AH? What is it? Cosine. Cosine of what angle
Okay.
is equal to what?
Adjacent.
Which is
10 over 17.
okay. And because I'm solving for this angle here, my angle comes down. My trig function goes to the other side as the inverse. And 10 over 17. What do you get for your angle? 54 degrees. look at number 13. Let's go back. All right, which angle do I want to use?
65.
Yeah, 65. Only angle I can use. The top one is labeled and the bottom one is a right angle. We never use that one. All right, 24 is adjacent. X is hypotenuse. So I'm going to use cosine of which angle? Cosine of,
Or X.
that's what's your angle. Your angle always goes there.
55.
Is equal to all right, so now I can solve this by making a proportion. I'm going to put this over 1, then I cross multiply. 1 times 24 is 24, and x times cosine of 65. All I'm doing is just cross multiplying. How do I get x by itself? No, we're going to divide by cosine 65 on both sides. That means this cancels out. And I'm left with x is equal to what? What is 24 divided by cosine of 65? Round to the nearest 10. I round my sides to one decimal place. I round my angles to a whole number. All right, I want you guys to try number 15. Skip 14, let's do 15. The angle you have is right here. I'll help you label. Your x is going to be opposite. 120 is going to be your hypotenuse. So you should have used sine of 67 is equal to x over 120. You made it to a proportion, Diana? Alright, what do you get for this? What do you guys get for an answer? 120 times sine 67. The decimal. 325.
Wait, how do you do that?
So I put in 120 times sine 67. I get 110.46. That's 6 makes the 4 go up. All right, let's look at number 17. Let's solve the following right triangle. So it is your job to figure out what these missing values are. First, I need to find missing sides. They gave me 2 sides. I can find the third side by using the Pythagorean theorem. Let's say that's A, that's B, that's C. So if I do the Pythagorean theorem, it get 11 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. What is 11 squared plus 10 squared? Alright, so 221 equals c squared, so how can I find the square root of both numbers? C equals what?
14.
And 14 plus 9. So that means the Pn is 14. No, that is the measure of that side.
See, why is it 14? I don't understand.
Is it bigger than 5?
It's 8. So it's 6 is lower than 8. So how is that 9?
What's your second number after the decimal?
6.
Right, is 6 bigger than 5?
But it's not 5, it's 8.
What's 8?
I don't know. 14.8. And then I remember 6.
I know, but it's tell if it's rounded or not, you feel if it's bigger than 5 or not.
But 8 is 8.
Why are you talking about 8? Where do you get the 8 from?
Like before you remember it, yeah, that's all. Now it's 8.
Where's your calculator? Where do I get this number? The way we round is if your number's bigger than 5. We're not talking about if we want to round anything. This number would be 3. If this number was 3 first, and that was 6, and that next one would be 4. It would round up. The way you round is based off if your number is higher than 5 or not, because between 0 and 10, 5 is in the middle. If it's less than 5, you don't round. If it's greater than 5, then you round. So this 6 is bigger than 5, so then it rounds this up to 9. Does that make sense? Alright, so the measure of angle P, we can erase these other, and you don't need it. We're going to use trig to find the measure of angle P. Alright, so we're using trig to find the measure of angle P. 10 is going to be opposite, 11 is going to be adjacent. Which trig function do I need for this?
The last one,
Tangent.
Keon.
Tangent of P, because we don't know what that angle is 10 over 11. Alright, so because I'm solving for the angle, I'm going to have to take the opposite of the trig function and then multiply it by 10 over 11. So what do you get for tan, or the inverse tan times 10 over 11? Alright, so that just, we're running to the nearest whole number. So that stage is 42, right? Okay? You always round your angles to whole numbers. Alright, so we know that angle Q is 90. Angle P we just said was 42. How can we figure out angle N?
45.
Nope, don't just guess.
Oh, subtract 180.
Right, so we're going to subtract both of those angles from 190. And what are you left with?
48.
48. So instead of doing trig again to find angle N, we're just subtracting. not have to do trig twice to find two angles. Just subtract to find that last one. All right, let's do one word problem and then we're done. Let's do number 20.
I don't have 20.
I got one.
Is it not the last page?
It's only 18.
Snapchat.
Oh,
I love one.
That's in your packet.
Can you see me Snapchat? Yeah.
why?
But it's not too much so.
All right, I guess just write it down here.
Really? So you like Christmas?
All right, so number 20, it says a slide 5 meters long makes an angle of 35 degrees with the ground. How high is the top of the slide above the ground? Your answer to the nearest 10. All right, so draw a picture. There's your slide. So that's going to start by triangle. It says it's a 5-meter slide. It makes a 35-degree angle with the ground. So is that angle going to be at the bottom here or the top here? The bottom, it says it makes it with the ground. How high is the top of the slide above the ground? This is my X. So I'm going to circle my angle and figure out which trig function I should use.
Wait, it's right here.
X is going to be opposite, 5 is going to be the hypotenuse.
Same.
It's going to be sine, but in this case, pen, that doesn't bother me. Sine of 35 is equal to X over 5. I can cross multiply. 1 times X is X. 5 times sine of 35. What do you get for your answer? Multiply those together. Yeah, I rounded 2.9. All right, so we are stopping there. Your homework is Unit 7 review. It's in your packet. We still have 2 minutes until the bell.